Hey guys, today I wanted to talk to you about some of the numerology as it exists in the tarot behind the year 2020. So, numerology is written deeply in the tarot cards. They all have numbers. And so I've pulled the ones that are associated with this year, and I thought I would share them with you because, for me at least, when I look at the themes in a particular year, I feel hopeful and encouraged because suddenly I'm not just faced with problems for problems' sake. I'm faced with challenges and opportunities to grow into new and deeper places. And so, if you do the numerology for January 1st, 2020, you numerologically find a six. The six in the tarot is the card of the lovers. And this is the hallmark of this year initially because you see the lovers indicate two people. And even though the lovers come together and the ultimate theme of this card is love, when you see a six, which is the number of the lovers, it indicates a choice. And so it indicates that this year we are being faced collectively with a choice. And that choice, as many choices are, is the choice between fear and running from our troubles and not accepting reality as it is and not being open-minded, or the choice to move toward a more loving state, a more curious state where we're open to hearing things and learning things and becoming new and more interesting versions of ourselves. So that's the beginning. Then, if you look at just the year 2020, we have a numerological 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. And so that's the card. Traditionally, this card is called the Emperor. In this deck, he's shown as a builder. And this is the divine principle of building, of creating structure and boundaries. And it's indicating that the choice between curiosity and love and coming together versus the choice of running away and tearing things down is a choice of what we want to build in our future. So what do we want the future to be like? How can we co-create a world that is either a world of greater love and greater harmony and greater purpose for the world, or a world, of the opposite choice. So we're faced with a choice, and the choice is, what kind of a world do we want to build? If you break down 2020 further, you see that there are a lot of twos and zeros. And so I pulled a card with a 2 and a 0, the 20 card. And this card in this deck, it's called Awakening, which I think is a really accurate depiction of what it is in most tarot decks. Sometimes it's called Judgment, but they mean that in the sense of opening ourselves up and seeing things clearly, cutting through the falsehoods that we make and the excuses we make in our heads to see what is the true nature of reality. And so it's indicating that together we're going to hopefully come to a place where we are experiencing greater and greater stages of our own consciousness. And that means drawing things into our awareness that previously we weren't yet aware of. We get some help, though, because there is also a number 2 in the tarot deck, which is the High Priestess. And this is the card that indicates the part of you. All of these things are just parts of you. They're indicating parts on your path and your journey. This is the part of you that has access to the deepest forms of intuition. Those gut feelings, those things that live deep inside you that you hear as truth. Not necessarily truth that emanates from the logical mind, but truth that comes from the universality of the beingness of our own alive nature. And so this card is really amazing. And finally, there are a lot of zeros in 2020, and the 0 card is the Fool. or the seeker in this deck. And people sometimes think about the Fool and they're like, oh, that seems silly. But really, if you think about the way numerology works, 0 is present in every number. It's the invisible constant. You can add 0 to any number and it will stay the same. And yet the sheer presence of 0 reminds us, you see 0 is like almost a circle, like the zodiac wheel. It reminds us of a state of fullness, the fullness of being, the fact that we are here to experience life and to truly live. And if you just studied one card in the entire zodiac, or in the entire tarot, this would be a great one to study, because just the fact that we've shown up as embodied beings on this realm means that we are ready to experience life. And the Fool wanders forward in a state of innocence and curiosity. So again, we're back here. We're choosing between our curious, kind, loving nature and the other parts of us that maybe are more self-protective and fearful. The Fool is not afraid at all. The Fool is ready to walk forward. And yet the Fool is infinitely protected. And there's a lot of symbolism in the card that shows that. But I just want you to know, as you're going through 2020, we're faced with this choice. What do we want to build? How do we want to experience life? Do we want to invite in a more loving, beautiful state into the world? Do we want to build that into the world with greater consciousness and purpose? Can we rely on our deep intuition to drive ourselves forward into a place where there's greater harmony and love? And so that's the numerology of 2020. Take a look. Let me know what you think. If you have questions about this or about your own birth numerology or anything like that, everybody does have a soul card for the year. So if you want to talk about what yours is, I am offering free 15-minute consultations right now. You can sign up for those via the link in my Instagram bio. I also have a number of other free offerings. There's some donation-only yoga classes, Tuesdays and Wednesdays at 4 p.m. Pacific time. And as well, all my paid off offerings are still available online at this time, as they always are if you are non-local to me. So check it out. Let me know what you think. Come for an astrology reading, come for a tarot reading, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.